alleviate some of your grief, I would like to share some fond memories and personal attributes that made my brother such a wonderful person. Norman was a character. He always had a smile on his face and always had a funny laugh. Wow, what a laugh he had. His laugh was infectious and crippling. When you would hear it, you couldn't help but laugh with him. His face, that smile, those eyes, you could read it like a book. You knew exactly what he was thinking, what he was feeling, and what he was about to do. His easygoing, relaxed nature made him a delight to be around, and was always the life of a party. Norman always liked gathering with family and friends, and always had an open door policy. I remember Marcel Roger and myself would go over hunting with our pelicans, ride his motorbikes. My brother took care of his younger brothers, and got each of us a part-time job at Oshawa Winery, where we worked after school and on weekends. He showed us what hard work is all about. Sorry, guys. Where was I here? Norman was also a giving person. When we were young, Marcel had bought himself a two-wheel bike. Then shortly after that, my dad had bought me one, being his favorite, of course. Roger stood on the sidelines and asking himself, what about me? He never complained to anyone, but Norm, being Norm, felt bad for him. A day or two later, Norm comes home after work and pulls out a brand new bike for Roger. As Roger put it, class act, Norm. I'll never forget it. Thanks for sharing that story, Roger.
I didn't know about that story.
Then there was a story that Carmen shared with us. She was sent to boarding school in grade 9, and Lucy Bach was getting married. It was the first wedding amongst older friends in our neighborhood. Everyone was going to this wedding. Carmen begged Dad if she could come home, and he said no, it cost too much. She never asked anyone for help, but Norman, being Norman, sends her money for a train ticket to come home for the wedding. She cried and will never forget his kind gesture. Norman would organize boys' weekend at the cottage, where once again he had his toys, motorcycles, boats. Uncle Donat and Uncle Roger can tell you stories about one particular weekend. I did not attend those boys' weekends because I knew better. My distance from those gatherings was really safe. But let me tell you, the Selma and Louise episode was enough for me and Mike. But that's another story, and what a doozy one that was. One thing that I respected the most about my brother was that even though he had such a carefree attitude, he also had a serious side. He was very intelligent and lived a successful life. He was a businessman. He was a hardworking man and took chances in life. Norman had the joie de vivre, rebel lifestyle. He loved living in the country, loved his toys, he loved getting together, he loved his siblings, his kids, and he loved to party and living on the edge, and he liked to push it to the limits. He brought up the mischievous kid in all of us. I'm still very hurt by what he went through, but I'm happy that he is in a better place and at peace now. My dad is probably questioning Norman right now and saying, hey Norman, how did you manage to get through those pearly gates? Of course, Norman being the smart ass that he was, most likely replied, "Ils ont été dessus." I helped over them. What do you think? Yes, Norman, you sure were a rebel and did like to good outweighs the bad. Remember Kiki's wedding and Carmen walking around with this suitcase? Well, that suitcase was actually a rolling minibar. She would offer shots to her siblings, nieces, and nephews. Is that not Norman or what? Actually, see these flowers here? Well, my baby sister, the one standing beside me here, Miss Innocent, suggested that we put a different kind of greenery mix in our I was going to do it, but my lovely wife said, don't you do it. But Norm would have done it. God bless his soul. Love you, brother. Say hi to the old man and Mad Dog Vachon for me. I will miss my brother more than words can say. We should all be thankful for knowing him and for his time on earth. I hope that everyone here remembers how wonderful a person he was, and that his memory will continue to live in our hearts and